All right, welcome to this lesson on building your personal AI management system. In this video, we're going to show you how to create a structured approach to working with ChatGPT and other generative AI tools that will consistently give you better results every single time.
Yes, hey there. Here's why this matters. And this is something I've seen recently with some of my managers that I work with. Most people are just typing random requests into ChatGPT and getting inconsistent, mediocre results. The problem? They're not giving AI the information or context it needs to deliver the kind of professional quality outputs that they want to have.
Exactly. So by the end of this lesson, you're going to have your own personal AI management system that transforms how you work with AI. Now, here's the thing about ChatGPT and other LLMs. They're incredibly powerful, but they need context to give you the kind of results that will actually make you look good and be effective as a manager.
Yes, and here's how I like you to think about it. If you hired a new team member, you wouldn't just say, do some work and expect good results, right? You would give them background about their role, the team, the goals, and the company culture. Well, ChatGPT and AI needs exactly the same kind of briefing that you'd give to any new employee. The more context you can provide, the better it can serve as a strategic thinking partner.
Yeah, most managers skip this step and are wondering why their results are generic or miss the mark. We're going to fix that today with what is known as context engineering, and that will allow the AI to deliver results that sound like they came from someone who actually knows your business. So if you go online today, you'll see the term context engineering being thrown around everywhere. But you'll also notice that there's no real explanation about what it is or how to use it or how it differs from the previous buzzword, prompt engineering. And all context engineering really is putting specific business and task information into what we call an XML prompt structure and attaching supporting documents and data when needed. Now, don't worry, XML sounds technical, but it's basically just a way of organizing information using angle brackets.
Yeah, in my experience, the one who get the best results with ChatGPT and the other tools, right, are the ones who give structured instructions instead of just throwing random requests around. And that's exactly what we're doing here with ChatGPT. We're giving it clear context, expectations, and parameters. Now, let us show you the 8-part structure that will transform your result.
And what's actually happening here is we're giving ChatGPT 8 distinct pieces of information that will help it understand not just what to write, but how to think about the problem. Each XML tag here serves a specific purpose. And the reason that we use XML tags and close them off is because AI at the end of the day is a machine, and we are simply formatting our request in a way that a machine can better understand it.
Exactly. Now, let me walk you through why this persona tag, and that is the first one, is so powerful. It tells ChatGPT what role to adapt, and this isn't just about tone, it's about mindset and expertise. When you say experienced operation manager, you're essentially giving ChatGPT the same kind of role clarity you'd give to a new hire, for example. It starts thinking like someone who's actually dealt with these challenges before. You can even name this person and give them a backstory. Think of it like creating a detailed job description that makes your AI assistant more effective.
Right, and the context section is absolutely crucial. This is where you paint the full picture of your specific situation. And the more detail you provide here, the more tailored and relevant your results will be.
Exactly. And then let's talk about the tone tag, right? This is what prevents those generic, corporate-sounding responses that make you sound like a robot. Instead of getting something that sounds like it came from a template, you get responses that match your speaking or writing style.
And the input format tag tells ChatGPT what kind of information you're giving it, whether it's an attachment, documents, raw data, meeting notes, customer feedback, or financial reports. This helps it process your input more intelligently.
Exactly. And now in the example section, you show ChatGPT exactly what good output looks like. Instead of hopping it together to get the style right, you're giving it a template to follow. It's like providing work samples to a new team member so they understand your quality standards.
And the task tag is where you get specific about exactly what you want ChatGPT to do. Not help me with this email, but draft a professional response declining this request while maintaining the relationship. One of the most common mistakes that people make when using AI is that they give it all this information, but then forget to ask it the actual question because they assume that the AI can work out what the question is. You're always going to get much better responses if you ask the actual question.
Yeah, and then we go to the constraint sections, and that works like boundaries you set for any team member. So, for example, word limits, no made up data, company policies, compliance requirements, and this prevents ChatGPT from going off track.
And finally, the response format tells ChatGPT how to structure its output, whether that's bullet points, numbered lists, executive summary format, or whatever works best for your workflow.
Yes, exactly. And here's why this approach is so effective. It mirrors exactly how good managers think through communication. You consider your audience, the context, the desired outcome, and potential constraints before you speak. We're simply teaching ChatGPT to follow the same strategic thinking process.
Right. And the key thing is that this structure forces you to be specific about what you actually want. And the more specific you are, the better your results will be with AI. And remember that specificity is directly correlated with quality when it comes to AI prompts.
Now, you might be thinking, and I can imagine that this seems like a lot of work to type out every time if I want to ask AI something. And you're absolutely right. I would think the same. So here's what we've developed for you, what we call a context builder prompt agent. And this is a tool that's going to interview you about your specific management role and then generate personalized context sections you can reuse in all your future prompts. So think of it as creating your management profile once and then leveraging it hundreds or even more times.
All right, and we are going to show you how this works by running it with some sample data for a typical operations manager. So I'm just going to copy this, go over to ChatGPT and paste it in. Let that run for a second. Okay, here we go. Great, let's get started. What's your name and job title? So we have prepared some responses. I'm going to start pasting this in. Name is Mark Kowalski, operations manager. ChatGPT is going to ask the next question. What are your main responsibilities? I oversee team productivity, ensure product delivery on time, and so on. How many people do you manage directly and what are their roles? I manage 12 people directly.
Yes, and then we have another question, and that is more about the team goals and the KPIs. So the answer there that we prepared for you is like, for example, 95% on-time project delivery, that kind of thing. Then we have another question, and that's about the company and departmental structure. So in this case, we are a mid-sized SaaS company with 120 employees. And then, of course, ChatGPT also wants to know what tools and application we use regularly. So we type, for example, in Slack for communication, Jira for project management, and so on.
Right. And then it's going to ask, what processes do you commonly oversee or manage? And for a operations manager, it's going to be things like weekly sprint planning, monthly stakeholder reviews, and so on. And lastly, it's going to ask about our management style. In this case, we're going to be direct but supportive.
All right, so here's where the magic happens, right? After collecting all that information about your specific management situation, the Context Builder agent creates a personalized profile that transforms how ChatGPT understands and responds to you.
Now, what you need to do is take these sections, the context, the tone, the constraints, or basically everything that ChatGPT outputs here, and you can drop them into any prompt using the XML structure that we covered before. And then ChatGPT will know exactly who you are, what your challenges look like, and how to communicate with you.
Exactly. And here's what I love about this approach. You do this setup work once, and then you have a personalized context profile that transforms every single ChatGPT interaction you have from that point forward. It's like having a strategic thinking partner who actually knows your business.
Exactly. Do not make the mistake that most managers make here and thinking they need to rebuild this context for every single prompt. You don't. You create it once now, you save it, and then you reuse it. All right. What we're going to do next is hop over to where we're going to store all this. Now, I personally recommend using Notion for this, but you could use Google Docs, OneNote, or whatever system you really prefer. And to make this easy, we're going to give you this starter prompt library, and it contains all the prompts from this course in Notion that you can modify and add to for your own use. And it is this page here. Now, when you go to this page in your browser, if you're logged into Notion, there is going to be a duplicate button here in the top right, and you simply click it to copy it into your own Notion setup.
Right. And be sure to update the ideal prompt structure with your managerial context profile once you've generated it. Now, what I love about this is that it's so organized. Everything is sorted by essential categories, and it's like having a management playbook that works with AI.
Right. And as a reminder, you can grab the link to this in the Access Your Resources lesson.
All right, everyone. That's a wrap on context engineering and building your personal AI management system. Here's the key takeaway. I want you to remember structured prompts with proper context will give you 5 to 10 times better results than random requests.
So take the time to engineer your context profile and prompt library. It is the difference between having a confused intern and having a strategic thinking partner who knows your business inside and out. We'll see you in the next lesson.